It's not the first time Ken Thomas has climbed these steps.
As soon as I turned 6 on October 2nd, I was dropped off on the steps just right behind me here.
And the site of the former Muskowekwan Indian Residential School holds some traumatic memories for the newly elected councillor of Kiniston Saulteaux Nation. He remembers a friend dying at the school when he was in grade 7. It took place while he and some of his classmates were on a field trip.
Well, actually, my friend passed away here. Then when we got back, they found him hanging on the 3rd floor.
It's tragedies like these which have resulted in many of the Truth and Reconciliation calls to action. Ceremonies and prayers were held on Saskatchewan First Nation as Ottawa announced nearly $5 million to the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations. This is part of the $27 million the federal government made available for Indigenous communities back in 2019. Now, the FSIN has been given $7 million in funding from both the provincial and federal governments for ground radar searches at former residential schools in Saskatchewan. Its vice chief says more funding will be needed to help survivors. David Pratt says at least 3 communities with sites in their territories have plans in place for ground radar searches.
And working with them on how they want to proceed moving forward, along with their elders and their survivors.
Muskowekwan First Nation discovered at least 35 unmarked grave sites in the early 90s and expect there are many more on the grounds surrounding the school. The site closed in 1997. Kyle Benning, Global News.